Now, the Pan Africanist Congress is the only party with the bad news from the Independent Electoral Commission. The IEC this week has dismissed objections raised against 9 other political parties. Most objections were directed at the ANC, followed by the Black First, Land First and the Economic Freedom Fighters.
9 out of 10 political party lists was spared the chop as the IEC had dismissed over 50 objections leveled against them. However, the PAC was not as fortunate as the Commission upheld one objection by the party against its own member, Seropane Alton Mpeti.
After deliberating, the Commission resolved to uphold one objection by the PAC against its own candidate, Mr. Seropane Alton Senyane Mpeti. This candidate was sentenced on 7 June 2016 to 18 months imprisonment without the option of a fine. This disqualifies him from holding elected office to the National Assembly or provincial legislature.
For now, the party lists are done deal. The Electoral Commission says political parties can't change their mind on their candidates until after the elections. Meanwhile, the ANC has welcomed today's outcome and says their candidates will still be scrutinized beyond this point.
We welcome the decision and actually accept, the processes that they would have gone through to have such a decision. Well, on the part of the ANC, obviously we would have said there's a structured process internally that would still, undertake insofar as screening of some of those candidates whose objections against their name would have been raised. So that is far as where we are. We know that previously the ANC leadership and national will have also stated that there's an integrity, commission, which I would subject quite a number of those that were listed in those objections through that process. So for now, we can only await for, that process to be seen through, and then ultimately we'll have an outcome of that.
At the same time, 36 political parties contesting for seats at the Gauteng Provincial Legislature signed the Electoral Code of Conduct today.
It is important to note that 1,218 candidates will be contesting for the 73 provincial seats in our legislature in Gauteng. We have 6,387,000 registered voters. This province remains the highest voting bloc in the country. Percentage-wise, the population of registered voters in Gauteng represents 25% of the national voters' roll.
While the IEC has dismissed objections against candidates from various political parties, it has given objectors until the 11th of April to appeal the process made by the Commission. Meanwhile, it's all systems go for the upcoming municipal by-elections taking place on the 11th of April. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Sandton, Johannesburg.